next we have with us Natalia Moudrak, who is one of the key people in Canada working on climate adaptation, and has done a lot of work on reporting metrics and risks and quantification evaluation. And so I'll pass the torch to you to provide us some light on adaptation and how that fits in with this.
Thank you, Toby, and to the panel for these insightful remarks. I think what I want to do is piggyback on some of the comments that Robin has just made and previous panelists, and specifically as it relates to the need to consider natural infrastructure assets for the significant economic value that they bring for climate resilience and disaster risk reduction, and also to underscore the need to account for this value by public sector entities as well. And in Canada, just as a reminder, the cost of extreme weather is on the rise. When we look at catastrophic insurable losses in our country for property and casualty insurance sector as a metaphor for the magnitude of the cost, we see that there has been a significant increase in the last decade. From 1983 to 2008, catastrophic insurable losses associated with extreme weather events in Canada used to average $500 million per year. But come 2009 onwards, every year $1 billion mark was exceeded. And we know that for every dollar of insured loss, there are $3 to $4 of uninsured losses that occur in our country associated with extreme weather events. And they are borne by individuals, government, businesses, and so on. And again, relative to climate change, flooding is by far the costliest and most pervasive natural disaster in our country. But when we look back at natural infrastructure, there is actually a really rich data bank right now that exists in Canada of case studies and assessments that points to the effectiveness of natural assets like wetlands, forests, riparian areas to function essentially as big sponges and reduce flood damages while providing other additional benefits to local communities. And just to give a few examples from M&AI work that Robin mentioned and some of the work we've done at the Intech Center, conserving wetlands upstream from City of Waterloo saves $50 million in property damages every time a 500-year storm occurs in this area. Conserving 7 kilometers of natural area along Oshawa Creek delivers approximately $19 million in stormwater management benefits for the city of Oshawa in Ontario. And similar assessments, they have been done all across Canada. And that's a good news. We have the methodologies and the skill sets to carry out these type of assessments for the value of nature, for climate resilience benefits that it offers. But unfortunately, as Robin mentioned, currently the Public Sector Accounting Board rules prohibit public sector entities in Canada to recognize the value of natural infrastructure assets on financial position statements. And this means that as Canadians, we may not have the full transparency over the loss and degradation of these assets over time. And in Canada, we are losing natural assets at an alarming rate. And with that, we are losing actually our natural capacity to deal with extreme weather events. So I would say that given climate reality, where we are seeing extreme weather events becoming more severe and more frequent as a function of time, we must begin to properly account for natural assets and to value them also from the standpoint of disaster risk reduction benefits that they offer. So that's something to add to that discussion. I think Public Sector Accounting Board can collaborate with entities represented on this panel to advance this file quite significantly forward. Thank you, Toby.